Hey guys, Peter Franson here from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. Once again, this week on the Christian Geek Central podcast, I am reusing some reflections I did a number of years ago on thankfulness, and specifically both why it's good for us as geeks to be thankful and why God deserves it, and how we tend to kind of compartmentalize different parts of our lives and not really think of them as something that we should thank God for. For example, geek entertainment. When's the last time we thanked God for the great sci-fi movie that we just watched or something like that? And so I explore some thoughts on that in the video that I will link to below, so you can go back and check it out. But the question that I wanted to pose this week, the second of two, I posed the first one last week. Last week was, what are you thankful that God has done? And this week, it's a little bit different, maybe easy for you to answer, but for others, it might take a little bit more thinking. What are you thankful for about who God is? It's much easier to thank God for what He has done. Oftentimes we think about the circumstances of our lives and what is it that we can thank God for that we have or that we've experienced. But it can take maybe a little bit more thought. Think about who God is. And that's why I started with having us reflect on what God has done, because what God has done in the past shares some indications of who He is, His character, His attributes, His power, just the different elements of who He is. And as we reflect on who God is and express thankfulness for who God is, that's right, of course, to give Him thanks for that, but it's also really good for us because it continually informs our understanding of who God is and why He's worthy of our trust. And that's where it can really have an impact on our day-to-day lives as we trust in the track record and therefore the character of God. Then we have reasons to go into whatever we're enduring in life with hope and with confidence because of who God is. And so that's the question I want to put out there. And about 24 hours from when this video goes up is when I will be recording the podcast for this week, and I hope to share reactions to this question and last week's question from you guys during that episode of the podcast. So if you're able to get your responses to me within that time frame, that would be great. Otherwise, anytime you want to leave a comment below this video with your thoughts on what you're thankful for about who God is, I would really enjoy reading those comments, and I think that it's helpful for us always to just kind of share these things out loud or typed in this case with each other, because it helps each of us reflect in different ways on who God is, which is really, really good for us and really right and fitting for Him. So anyway, would love to get those comments, and I hope you have a wonderful time if you're celebrating Thanksgiving this week. Otherwise, I hope you have some good moments this week, at least reflecting on what you have to be thankful for that God has done and for who God is. Thanks. Bye-bye. For more chat about geek entertainment, answers to your questions, and news from the wider world of Christian geekery, get the Christian Geek Central podcast today on iTunes and other podcast services.